times they ever seen. You got a high purpose, high calling. Even when you alone, you're still important. It might seem impossible, but just keep moving forward. It's not the destination, the journey is rewarded. Don't be a worrier, be a warrior. You'll be the winner at the end of the story, victorious. Doesn't matter where you start, you can win. Doesn't matter where you from, you can win. Doesn't matter if it's hard, you can win. You can win, you can win. You might have lost before, but you can win. When your back's against the wall, you can win. When it's 1 against 1,000, you can win. You can win, you can win. You might have. You are stronger than your fears and setbacks, never forget that. Nothing on this earth can overpower you. You got the strength to power through, living truth. Digging the roots, better roots. Dig deep in your soul, you got a lot to use. A lot to lose now, you can never lose if you never quit. Overwhelmed and submerged, but you never submit. You got stand power, stronger than cement. Trust me, all the hard times they ever seen. You got a high purpose, high calling. Even when you alone, you're still important. It might seem impossible, but just keep moving forward. It's not the destination, the journey is rewarded. Don't be a worrier, be a warrior. You'll be the winner at the end of the story, victorious. Doesn't matter where you start, you can win. Doesn't matter where you from, you can win. Doesn't matter if it's hard, you can win. You can win, you can win. You might have lost before, but you can win. When your back's against the wall, you can win. When it's 1 against 1,000, you can win. You can win, you can win. You might have. You are stronger than your fears and setbacks, never forget that. Nothing on this earth can overpower you. You got the strength to power through, living truth. Digging the roots, better roots. Dig deep in your soul, you got a lot to use. A lot to lose now, you can never lose if you never quit. Overwhelmed and submerged, but you never submit. You got stand power, stronger than cement. Trust me, all the hard times they ever seen. You got a high purpose, high calling. Even when you alone, you're still important. It might seem impossible, but just keep moving forward. It's not the destination, the journey is rewarded. Don't be a worrier, be a warrior. You'll be the winner at the end of the story, victorious. Doesn't matter where you start, you can win. Doesn't matter where you from, you can win. Doesn't matter if it's hard, you can win. You can win, you can win. You might have lost before, but you can win. When your back's against the wall, you can win. When it's 1 against 1,000, you can win. You can win, you can win. You might have. You are stronger than your fears and setbacks, never forget that. Nothing on this earth can overpower you. You got the strength to power through, living truth. Digging the roots, better roots. Dig deep in your soul, you got a lot to use. A lot to lose now, you can never lose if you never quit. Overwhelmed and submerged, but you never submit. You got stand power, stronger than cement. Trust me, all the hard times they ever seen. You got a high purpose, high calling. Even when you alone, you're still important. It might seem.
Welcome to the Walk in His Ways Impact Voice podcast, an extraordinary program hosted by Furman Jackson Jr. and Nancy C. out of Miami, Florida. The podcast is broadcasted live from the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas. We would like to express our gratitude to everyone for continuing support and engagement with us on a weekly basis. We thank y'all, man. This is our Wednesday night edition. We always live stream every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Saturday. We know this podcast is about extraordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. And I have a gentleman who is doing extraordinary things himself, Wade from Louisiana. Got his foot rooted and grounded here in the DFW. He's been in the ground ever since. Like I said, I love greatness. I love greatness. I love people who's about their business. I love people who don't make excuses. I love people who don't blame others. Say, you know, I got to go get it. It's grind time, and that's what it's all about. So, Coffee Man, welcome, sir, to the Walking This Way's Impact Force podcast. We are live streaming on Instagram. We're live streaming on YouTube. We're live streaming on LinkedIn, Twitch, and of course, Facebook as well. So, Coffee Man, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for taking time your productive schedule. I've been seeing you from afar, and you're everywhere, and you're constantly grinding. And I had to get you on the platform, sir, because I love your work ethic, I love your drive, and I love what you're doing. So, hey, go ahead, introduce yourself to the audience here for the very first time here on the Walking This Way's Impact Wars podcast.
Okay, how y'all doing there, y'all? I go by Coffeeman, but the brand I trademarked a new brand, Seaman Coffee, because I couldn't own Coffeeman, and I wanted to own the whole brand. So it's Seaman Coffee, which stand for the Coffee Man, which everybody who know they still call me the Coffee Man, and that's what I go by. Because when the checks go to the bank, they gonna say Seaman Coffee, but when in the streets, I'm gonna be Coffee Man. But I got here at the end of 20, and it's just been a grind since then. You know, it just been hustling. And like you say, you don't make excuses. You got to get out. Ain't nobody gonna give you anything. You have to get out there and take what's yours right there. And I put together basically, you know, the #1 pop-up shop in the whole DFW is it don't matter what you sell. I mean, I'm moving 2,000 drinks a week, and then when people start watching how you do this every day, this ain't no weekend warrior. This ain't no other job. They done came try to hire me from everything from insurance company to executive chefs, what I used to do. But I believe in my dream, what I got set, and I stick to it, you know. So that's been the thing right there, you know.
Man, awesome to see, man. And I love it how you take control of your life. And I remember I had this book in my library, and it says either you gonna take control or someone's gonna be in control of you.
That's it.
And so if you're not gonna do it, somebody's gonna be taking control of you. Somebody's gonna be writing the book for you. But you know you want to stand out. You know you meant to move differently, if that makes sense. Because I'm going biblical for a moment. The Bible said that God made man in his image and after his likeness. So as man, we're made in the image of the Most High God. So he said his image is likeness. So we have to develop the likeness of God and how he move and how he operate in the earth, because scripture say he gave us dominion, right? And dominion means rule, governor within the earth. And a lot of people forget about that they allow everything and anything to rule them, whether it's their circumstances, whether it's people, places of things, but not learning the power within them. But at the end of the day, it's really up to us, and you can't get mad at someone else because they took the ball and ran with it. That makes sense.
That's true. That's real true, right? Yeah. And first, I want to piggyback right on that. Speaking about, you know, about the Bible and by God, you know, one thing, you know, like after losing everything in 2020 and coming here homeless, and then I'm 51. I was 47 then. I'm 51 right now. All I sell is coffee and lemonade. That's all I sell. But like I tell people, the drink is free. The $5 you pay, you're paying for the show. And that's what I give people to show. But the back to the God part, man, it is no one can tell me anything about God, what he won't do and can't do, and where he'll put a person on a stage and he'll make it unreal. And right now, it's just the support that the DFW have given me and the whole Metroplex, and I mean the whole Metroplex, and then people outside the state, you know, people from home and everything is unreal. To have 158 schools that you do, 18 Texas trucks, 51 daycares and nursing home, 4 of the top law firm, 36 corporations that you do on a daily basis, man, that's nobody but God. So I want to start with that because I'm just a vessel. And I'm just gonna let him use me until he can't use me no more. You know, so we're gonna go with that first. I'm gonna make sure I give all the praise to him on that. Even though you got to do your part, people forget about that part when they make it. You know, they want to talk about what they did. I ain't did a damn thing but show up and do what I'm supposed to do. That's it. You know, so I wanted to get on that part. Therefore, I even get started on anything else what I've done. You know.
Oh man, you know what? And that's what's up, see, man. I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm gonna go biblical for a moment. I'm coming out of Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 18. For those who may not be familiar with this passage, that Moses was talking, And God God gives us instructions, right? He gives us instructions, gives us insight, he gives a blueprint on how we're gonna do this thing, right? But I love how it says in Deuteronomy 8:18 says this, but thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that give thee power to what? Get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore unto thy fathers, as it is this day. But remember what he said, but thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that give thee power to get wealth. So we know that he gave you the mindset, he gave you the will, the work ethic to get wealth. And then basically what Moses was saying is, remember, it was God that gave you the power to get wealth.
That's true.
So we should always want to acknowledge him that, hey, without him, I wouldn't be here without him. So Moses was saying, I always remember it was him that gave you the power to get wealth. What you want to say about that?
That's exactly right. That's what people fail to realize, that sometime as the success set in, people want to run that way whenever everything is bad. Man, run over there and talk to him when everything going good. Like I got this thing I always say, I tell God, look at this here. Hey, I know somebody else needs your help, because you done gave me so much. Everything you done gave my $300,000 business back. Yeah, I know somebody needs your help. Don't forget about me now. I'll be telling, don't forget about me now. But I know somebody else can use your help right there a little bit more than what I need right now, because I'm so grateful to everything that have came. When you come here homeless, you ain't got nowhere to stay. You ain't got no car. You ain't got no job. All you got is a vision. That's all. And that's all you needed was a vision, and to put hard work behind it. And that's one thing that I did. And I'm never gonna forget free whenever people told me, they was like, you can't make no money just doing. I was executive chef for 25 years. So I was already in the business. You can't just make no money out here selling just coffee, man. You can't do it. Now them same people trying to like I always talk about the Kevin Gate line. Them same people trying to consult with me right now daily in my inbox, trying to find out how to make money. And then, like I tell people, in this pop-up world, in this business world, in this hustle world, first thing you got to have consistency. You got to be able to get them and do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And most people don't have that consistency part of what they're trying to do. That's one thing that really hurts people. I say the next thing, you got to be different. I don't care, y'all, if it's 115 degrees outside. I got a long sleeve shirt on. I got a bow tie on. I got an apron on that say Coffeeman, C-Man, whatever I wanted to say when I was running the business. I don't care if it's 42 degrees outside or it's 20 degrees. I got the same thing on. They don't ask a fireman to change his uniform just because it's summer or winter. He got to wear the same fire suit when he go fight that fire. If it's 100 degrees outside or is it 30 degrees outside, when he go in that house to fight that fire, he go have the same thing on. And you have to protect your brand. And when I mean protect your brand, you need to make sure that you spend a lot of time on building your brand. Closed mouth don't get fed. Social media is free. All this stuff is free. If you don't want, some days I release 50 posts sometimes. Ain't nothing, and sometimes only 3 of them maybe have to do with business. But you got to have a lot of components to your page when people start to follow you. And I tell people this all the time. I got maybe 8 to 10,000. We put both my followers together. It ain't no more than about 10, 12,000 with everything. But I got an 8.7 million people reach on Facebook. Right. When I post them, it's about the reach, who you reaching and who's indulging you, not your followers. And I asked this question. I said, to some people, just to see where they head at, I said, will you take 500,000, 500,000 followers, or would you take 500 supporters? And I hear the way they answer to me. And it tells me a lot, because 500,000 followers just gonna watch. But them 500 supporters will make you a millionaire, buddy. They'll make you a millionaire. I promise they will. So that's the way I go with that one. Is that I can't see it. Is it Nikki?
No, that's my co-host, Nancy C out of Miami.
Man, I couldn't see the names. Nancy? Is it Nancy?
Yep. Yeah,
look, I got them old man out. I can't see that good, so I'm trying to see the name up under the thing.
Yeah, that's Nancy out of Miami. She's my co-host. And I got a comment section too. Big shout out to Miss Smith. She said, what did she pull this up? She said, look, I mean, I'm consistent, but that doesn't mean that it gets me paid. You know what I mean? Question mark. Let me jump right in right there. It depends on what people call consistent. Consistent got levels. Just like I always tell people
Not having things have level. Consistency have levels right there. And you have to know your audience. You can be consistent with something that ain't even your audience. You have to know the first thing you got to learn in business is your audience. 98% of I know I lied now. I'm gonna say 95% of my clientele is women and kids. 65% of that 95% of that right there is the Black woman. That's crazy. Everybody in the world is chasing the Black woman, the dollar, because they're the biggest consumer in the world. I tell people this all the time. Handbags, hair, nails, all this stuff, weave, all this stuff goes in. Whenever George Floyd happened, nobody cared about peeing the Black man off. They weren't worried about making us mad. They didn't want to make the Black woman mad. That's when money started shaking, because they're the biggest consumer. So back to that right there, the consistency part, you have to know your audience, who you're being consistent to. And I go back to say that about the 95%. And when I got here, it was 98%. It was 98% was women and kids. 2% was man. How could you move? I move 2,000 drinks a week, and it goes sometime. It'll be a day or two before I even serve a man. That's insane. That's insane numbers right there. And these are real numbers right here. So I don't, me myself, and I say it out loud, I don't care if I sell anything to a guy. I know my audience. I don't care. I'm not going to focus on 2% when I've got 98% women and kids. If they come, they come. Now they're starting to come in more because they realize that, but you're not going to sit there and keep trying to sell to somebody that you can't. And that's what people try to force things. And another thing about being consistent, like in my business, I'm going to use an example in the coffee business. I've told so many coffee shops that they went out of business, or mobile coffee places went out of business. I say, look, you need to create something else. You want to sit here and keep selling this hot coffee and your certain bean, and I gotta sell this here coffee. Man, I sell coffee, I sell frozen lemon. I do lattes, macchiatos, Americano, frappes, iced coffees, regular milk, almond milk, oat milk, caramel, mocha, vanilla, all these things I do. But I do 12 different frozen lemonades. Now, it be days of the week I might move 2,000 drinks a week, but I might have 1,300 frozen lemonades I sold that week at the same $5 price that I sell that at. And another thing, well, man, this is easy. This is easy picking here. Another thing, when people talk about being consistent, you make sure your price is consistent in everything. We price ourselves out of a lot of stuff right there. Right. We price ourselves out of it right there. You know, you have to be, well, you say your price is your price. Your price is your price right there. But I tell people this here. 2,000 drinks a week. I was moving 1,500 about a year ago. Now I'm moving 2,000 drinks a week. I tell people this here. Sugar went up. My cups went up. My straws went up. My lids went up. Sugar went up. Sugar was $1.39 a bag when I got in. It's $4.19. It's $3.19 now. $2.87 on sale. I'm on 3 times the price right there. I still sell a $5 frozen lemonade. I still sell my price never changed. But my drink and my volume increased, and the money increased right there. So I tell people, watch your price, you know, and I tell our restaurants. I was executive chef for 25 years. My car name's to American graduate. So I'm very familiar with that. I ran a $60 million operation, 13 restaurants at the same time. I was a casino exec for 22 of them years. So I'm familiar with pricing, but when I walk into a restaurant, you serve me $10 for a side of greens, and I don't eat meat or fish or anything like that. So if I get 3, what's it called, man? You think I got to pay $30 for 3 sides of vegetables? It's insane. It's not going to sustain. And then we wonder why. We look up and say, well, why that black restaurant went out of business, or why everything fell out of pay? Because people try to do a money grab instead of trying to be in it for the long haul. It happens every day. And I see it so heavy in Dallas right there, a lot. And I tell people, I call it like I see it, you know. I call it like I see it. So, you know, you just have to be consistent to the right audience. You got to know your audience. She's probably exactly right. She's probably very consistent. But you have to make sure you're consistent to the right. And that's for you to find out who is your main audience right there. And that's one thing. Once you find it out right there, you know who to spend your time on, trying to put your time in and do everything with on that. You know that part there.
Well, you most definitely. And I got what else you got? She said, yeah, maybe I should team up with somebody like you, because you're speaking in schools in Dallas for work. A lot of people that I'm working with are quite stupid. They don't really know how to help me Another people, all they want is money, all for me, but don't want to help me. Is
She right. She right. She's absolutely right. She's out, and I tell people that try to get in these schools, you ain't got to pay. These people take all your money on these vendor fees and everything. They don't guarantee what you're gonna do. They and you just people that's trying to get started. I'm not gonna say luck, cause luck is not in the Bible, but I was blessed. You got blessings and curses in the Bible. You don't have luck, but I had a little luck. I think like I got here with nothing, but I got here when Dallas stopped. And when I had a chance to get out there while everybody was in the house, I was out there selling coffee and frozen lemonades on the side. Man, I ain't had no permits. I ain't have nothing. I was just out there just winging because I had nothing else to lose. Now everything I got is permitted. My truck, when I go into a place of permitted, my business trademark, the LLC, I got a $2 million business insurance, everything. And all this stuff don't cost that much money. Like you can take, like I tell people to get in like to say Michael's, Michael's, Amazon. I'm in all these people headquarters and everything. AT&T, I go to all these people headquarters and do stuff. But we got to have our stuff together, like the insurance. Insurance ain't that much right there to people to worry about, but you just get your insurance. You get so many different places like Flip and everything. You can do it very affordable, but they ask for this stuff right here. They ask for stuff when you go into their corporations. Like you take Dallas College, I have all 7 of their properties. I do all the campuses, but they ask for a process you go through to get everything with that. And I'm always willing to, man, I'm that type of person. I'm willing to show people whatever I know because I feel like what's for you is for you. I'm not trying to charge people for all this stuff. Person sit down and do lunch and hey, let's roll. You bring your notepad and I'm gonna spit it out there to you. How to do this here because I've done it right now and I show it every day consistently, right there, consistently. So.
And then another thing, and also we're gonna talk about this. She said, "I have products, but what I get is people's excuses. They don't have the money."
What's her product? See what she tell you her product. Okay,
all right.
I want to know.
Where's your product? She said, "I don't have money to support my book. They don't have the money to support my shoes. Okay, I really work hard. I'm just lost. I'm sick of working hard. There will be a day that I ask God to say, take me home because I'm sick of being here, not making nothing what I do."
We need a sidebar. off this here. Tell them we need a sidebar off this here.
Yeah, because I mean, you mentioned something about being consistent. Because, Mrs. Smith, what is your book? Put in the comment section. What is your book about? Because I know a lot of people write books. You have to capture the attention. So I hope she put in the comment section what her book is about. So put in the comment section what's your book about. Let me see. What else she got? She said a lot of people just want to pay to speak and you don't get nothing out of it. I'm sick of going to pay to speak engagements. I want to make money in speaking, but I don't. The difference is you make money and I don't make money in speaking because people rip me off. They don't do things that to you. What you say about that?
Wow. That's watching the company you keep right there. You know what I'm saying? They got to really do, and I'm sure Miss Smith is doing a lot of research before she dealing with these people. And I feel like they taking an advantage of just me personally. That's just my thought process. They taking advantage of on that. They it's like she paid some stuff to go get some stuff done, and people ain't got it done, and some people are supposed to been take her down the road to help her, and they haven't helped her.
Right.
And she going to get into another circle. It's all about your circle too. She going to get into a circle where people can which I advise. I don't know how much she follow you, but you deal with a lot of people. Myself, and I always see you got some different people on. And she probably need to get into a circle with some of them people that you picking, that can help. Just because I sell coffee and just because somebody sell clothing, just as somebody writing a book, we all got the same. We all got the same line that we trying to get to,
right?
Since and it all got the same kind of running point how I do it. So I think she need to get into a different kind of circle. I think some people have taken advantage of Miss Smith, personally, and I feel her pain. I feel her pain because on not that level what she's speaking on, But on another level, when I first got here, I would try to reach out to people. I just wanted to sit up next to people because I didn't know nobody. It's 8 million people in the DFW, and I didn't know nobody. I got here not knowing nobody, so I had to build it. And people know nobody answered their phone sometime, or they said I couldn't come. Now I'm that dude. It runs through me.
That's it.
It runs through me now. I'm the one that they calling right now. I'm the one I get up. I got 6 inboxes, 3 emails about how to do this here. But I answer, man. I never not answer a message back, and I answer every call. If not, I'm a text back. I do this. If somebody reach out to me, y'all, I'm out there hustling every day. How long it took me to answer you back? No, not long at all. Did it? Not to answer right away.
It wasn't long. It wasn't long at all.
Yeah, but because I told myself if I ever make it up and become, better at what I do, I'm going to always make sure I reach back to people to answer their questions and everything instead of just ignoring them because you just having a little bit could be a whole lot to somebody else there. Could be a whole lot to somebody else. It could really speak a lot of life in somebody, a lot of motivation. You could say one thing and it speak a lot of life in somebody, a motivation. You never know what that one thing gonna be. But I think Miss Smith need to get into your circle of people that you kind of pulling in and start trying to deal with some of them people there. Because I think she in a circle of people who they taking advantage of her right there, And sometimes people don't take you serious. That serious you taking your business. I don't think that group is. They out for self. You know what I'm saying? They out for self. Sound like it.
Yeah, I know you mentioned something about speaking engagement. Speaking engagement, you have to. I want to say speaking engagement is tricky, but when you're doing speaking engagement, you have to engage the audience. You have to articulate your words. You have to be fluent with your words. Because when you're doing speaking engagement, you have to get the audience attention. Because some people are not meant to be public speakers. That makes sense. You have to find your niche. You have to find where you good at. You have to find out where you crafted at. You mentioned something early, man, is knowing your market. And that's the thing is, a lot of people don't know their market. They be all over the place. But what is your market? Who is you targeting? You have to know your specific
like they say, know your audience, your market. This guy told me this a long time ago when I was executive. He said, I was doing something. He said, you gotta know your audience. And once you know your audience, you spend more time on trying to do that instead of trying to please everybody. And when I spoke about that 95% now and 5% right there, I spend all my time on trying to focus on the people who part of my business right there. Why would I spend time? I got to go get these guys to come in here and they 2% of 2,000 drinks a week. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And you have to have, I tell people this here behind your station. If y'all saw me, if I'm out there selling coffee and everything, I'm out there selling coffee. I'm out there doing everything. I'm selling coffee. It doesn't even matter. When a person walk by, they wouldn't even know if I can make coffee or not. They got to come over there and see my outfit sells them first. Your appearance. And I'm not talking about good looks to somebody, a beautiful woman, or all that stuff is going to go away when the person got nasty attitude. They might walk in there because the woman look good, but I'm talking about looking clean, looking presentable and everything. Next, when you come in there, my mouthpiece going to jump on you. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to jump all on you right there from the first time, Roger. What you got? What you got? Such and such. Another thing I tell people, I don't care if you like coffee. I don't care if you don't like coffee, don't like frozen lemonade. You need to come look how I run my business as in customer service. That's worldwide, right? The customer service is customer service. And that's what I do. And you spoke on the word engaging. I engage a lot in with my people. I do a lot of engaging in from posts, I got a funny part of me. I got a serious part. I got a teaching part. All this goes on my page. I don't even have a business page. I got a website because they wouldn't even go to the business page. They wanted to spend time on my personal page. So I just built that into the business page and made that page right there do everything with that right there. So like you said, she got to get that audience. Who is her audience? Because like you tell people got books. They got kid books. They know kids that they are. They got certain type of books that do this here, certain type of books that do this here. You got to know your audience when you're selling to that right there. Like Steve Harvey did it best. He knew his audience was women who was looking when he said how to think like a man. He knew the audience of that book right there. And people went out and bought that book and never read a chapter of it, but they went out and bought the book. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that.
Yeah, he knew he was marketing. She said, "Yeah, I know my market, but the problem is everybody wants money from me to go pay to speak on their stage, but don't want to pay me." So you have to know, okay, what is going? Why is that for? What are you going? That's the thing about it. You got to know where you going, where people want you to pay to see. What kind of events are you going to? That's the thing you got to know. What type of events you going to?
Because that's just like even in our world, like the pop-up world and everything. Like I don't really do pop-ups because I have too many corporate. I got like 2 or 3 people I go do their pop-ups every now and then. Other my stuff, when I walk in the door, I'm already paid for a city event, a such and such. I'm already paid 300 drinks, or I got access to certain people be able to make 300, 200, 300 drinks, but I don't have a vendor fee. I got out of there because I'm not paying you $300-400 to come in there and then you don't know nothing delivers, so I got away from that a couple of years ago. Like she said, she paying and they don't want to. So you got to know what you need to pay for and what you don't need to pay for.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. Because that's what she's saying. She said, I don't see any of my time trying to please anybody. I just spend a lot of my time calling and doing stupid is trying to get my life on the right track. I'm sick of doing boring stuff such as phone call, workbook, TED Talk, workbooks, and whatever else that does not get me a speaking job. I'm tired of doing this stupid stuff. And that's another thing too, Mrs. Smith. You're killing your market. If you saying stuff like this on posters, that will pull people away from you.
Oof. Just said a lot.
You're destroying your own market by putting stuff on there like boring, stupid stuff. People watch this and you want to make a living off this. People, let me tell you something on social media. Ooh. People watches your social media all the time. And if you're saying stuff like this, I'm saying this in love, Miss Smith. Hey, people don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with you. You have to be mindful what you put on social media. I can't be posting stuff of walking this way and I'm posting crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. People don't want to deal with you. You're killing your own market. The Bible said a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And if you're posting stuff like that on your social media, they're not going to deal with you.
Man, you just said a mouthful. I mean, I just gained like 100 yards of respect for you even more because most people wouldn't even have the guts to really speak the truth on that. But that is the honest truth right there. That will happen. You have to be careful what you do with that. You had to be very, very careful what you do with that. You had to be very careful.
Right. Because I'm saying this in love. And you talking about
I know. Definitely. You are 100%. Yeah. 100% in love. 100%.
And you're saying stuff like, I'm just saying, Miss, but when the outside looking in, and I say this in love, you say you do speaking engagement, you saying stuff like this, I won't invite you nowhere. I'm sorry. I mean, that's love. I'm done. I'm trying to help you out. That's just love right there because you're destroying your market when you're saying stuff like that. Nancy, you want to come in on it? You want to time in?
I think how you represent yourself, how you speak, and how you carry yourself goes a long way, and how people will invite you or not invite you.
Yeah,
I agree.
You have to represent yourself well, or you're making yourself look bad.
Yeah, you're destroying your market, and she's a great person. I had on the show before. She's a great person, but if you're posting stuff about you want God to take you home and stuff, people will distance themselves from you because they don't know what you're thinking, what you're capable of. If you really want to be successful at that, and we want you to be successful, but if you really want to be successful in this thing, you have to know your market, stay consistent with it, and mention like your book. What is your book about? What's your shoes about? What is your book about? Put in the comment section what's your book about. We'll let you know what your book's about. But if you're saying stuff about going home with God and you want God to take you from here, you're killing your own market. You're killing your own brand. Because not too many people want to deal with it. You never know. You hold up your own blessing. And you have a great story to tell.
That's true. God, wow. That's speaking facts on that, man. I mean, he can't be no realer than that. What you just said. I mean, it's nothing to follow with that. That's just the truth. And you have to. You don't want to be. You got enough people. Everybody not gonna like you. Everybody don't like Coffeeman. Everybody don't like Z-Man. Everybody don't. Everybody don't like. Everybody. I even compare. Everybody don't like Rodrick James. I got like 3 of them people. Coffeeman. You got Coffeeman. You got C-Man. You got Rodrick James. You got Chef. 4 different people. Everybody don't like none of them. Neither one of me. They don't like neither one of them people. But you just can't let that make you bring all the negativity into what you got. You got to stay the course in what you do. And like he said, I definitely see you being her being a hard worker. You know, she's trying to get there. But sometimes we have to make sure we're taking the right route. You know, you can walk 10 miles and it be down the wrong road. And I walk 10 miles, it's down the right road. I'm there. You don't went 10 miles east, but we was going west, but we didn't have a compass.
Right.
You didn't have a compass. So your compass took you the wrong way. You know.
Yeah. You got to. And I said, she said, yeah, I'm not trying to start any market. I don't know what you took. Yeah, because I'm watching your post. You posting about you posting suicidal stuff in your post. And I'm seeing this. And I say this in love because you post suicidal stuff and you want to do speaking engagements and you mention this stuff, you want to talk to kids and stuff. What kind of messages are you putting out there? People watch this stuff. People watches me. People watch Nancy. People watch C-Man. When you in a spotlight like that, you have to be very, very careful because I can't say stuff on my page. If I post crazy stuff on my page, I'm not saying you crazy, but if I post stuff on my page like that, people not gonna listen to me. They gonna turn me off. So
yeah, sometimes when you get in the public like this and you can't move like you used to move. I always tell people that I can't move like I used to move because who I presented myself as. I'm not a football player, I'm not a basketball, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an astronaut. I'm just a guy who sells coffee and frozen lemonade. But I can walk in a Walmart and I'll take 2 pictures before I leave, there's somebody that'll stop me. Or I can be sitting down having dinner and somebody gonna walk up on your table. You know, so you just have to, like you said, they watching you always, not just you when you think people ain't looking at you, they see you, man. They watching you. So I'm always careful with everything that I do, you know, and you have to be. And evidently it must have worked out because it's part of the brand building. You know, you build a brand. I have my own coffee, I have my own cologne, I have my own all my merch I have. Everything I put everything together with that right. And I was thinking the other day, I said, I built this brand with no investors, no partners, and no bank loans. And I built a brand. I'm gonna start franchising, which quote unquote licensing my first couple of trucks, well, my first one this year, because I'm gonna start training other people to come into this thing right here. The goal is 51 millionaire by 55, and I'll be that way before that. But I speak reality stuff and I be realistic when I speak on stuff. You know, I don't try to say I'm gonna do this here. But if I know that I can do a certain amount of money on a table, I know what I'm gonna do on several trucks. I can add, you know. So it's just the hard work, and I'm gonna keep the consistency and the hard work. And when you starting from a level, I'm not starting from ground zero no more. I'm on like the 10th floor starting now. I'm a little bit different now from when I got here. People know about it and they watch the hustle right there. So I just got to keep the same grind I had 3-4 years ago right now because right now I'm eating off everything I did 3-4 years ago. I'm not eating off of nothing I just did right now. This is all 3-4 years ago work that I'm selling 2,000 drinks on. This is what I did when I got here. Now I'm finna the next 4 years, I'm trying to eat off what I'm doing right now and keep that same steady hustle and increase it to make sure everything is good right there. And that's what Miss Smith, like you said, you speak on being a great person and everything right there. You know, she just got to put some of the other energy into another spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like this right here. Nobody is teaching me. It's like, what the F do y'all want me to say to you? You telling me I don't have a see, you know what I'm saying? You're destroying yourself. You the stuff you're putting on this comment, you're destroying your brand, Mrs. Smith. Miss Smith, you're destroying your brand. I'm saying this in love. You're destroying yourself.
Oof.
You can't. You want people to take you seriously, but by you putting stuff right there, you're destroying your market. That's why that's what you're doing. You're destroying yourself. And I say this in love. And you said nobody teach me like I said. What is your book? What's your book about? Put in the comment says what your book about. Who you marking your book to? And I say this in love. What he said. Let somebody sexual abuse you. Sexual. See what I'm saying? you will feel horrible, and I walk around with anger because I never got
Oh,
justice. I
oh.
had a girl talk about putting a noose around my neck. I was called 3 point unhuman. Of course, I don't like. I'm valued. I don't get the help, even though I put in work. All people do in my life is make excuses.
You need to heal. You need to ask the Lord to help you heal and put in the work on yourself. That way you can represent yourself better.
Yeah,
Because right now
Definitely.
I'm seeing a lot of hurt and a lot of things that are going on that
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that 100%. Definitely, she got the heal on. She definitely got the heal. Just
you
take.
got to
I
put in
would
the
take some
work
time to
with
work
your
on me.
relationship with the Lord first. I think that's why the Bible says, "Seek first the kingdom of God,
and
and
God and His
everything else
and
will be added." You're focusing on. I know you need your money, and everybody needs money, but when you put God first, everything else will open doors. God will make
right.
sure to open doors for you in every other situation that you have. But your first priority is to heal. Your
Yeah,
relationship with God is very important.
yeah, that's it. I mean, 'cause like I say, you're destroying yourself. Like I said, instead of people judge me on what I post, why don't? Because they're not. They're just gonna keep their distance. You said instead of people judging me on what I post, why don't they, if they ask me why do I feel the way I do, I bet you would get an answer instead of folks if and judge me. I'm sick of people judging me because nobody asks me how they can help me. They just judge me. I mean, what do you want? You what do you
I don't
want?
think we're judging you. We're giving you advice and we're letting you know how we got to where we're at, and the first step to it is healing. Everybody's gone through trauma. I've gone through sexual abuse. I've gone through a million and one things, and I've gotten healing to be able to be where I'm at now, which is being a life coach for foster homes and helping kids out. So the first step is healing. That's the first step. You're not going to go nowhere if you don't get the help that you need.
Right. And I agree, Nancy, because that's what I was saying on her post, and not like I said, she taking it as judgment, but I watch you from afar, and if you're posting stuff about you want God to take you home and this and that nature, you're posting about suicide, and if you talking about business and you talking about suicide, I'm telling you what's going on, Miss Smith. People are not going to want to deal with you. People watch social media all the time. Right now, if you go put an application for a job, on the job application, they ask about your social media account.
Hmm.
And they
That's
do
true.
that to see what type of person you are. And if you're posting stuff about 1 minute this and you're posting stuff about God, I want God to take me home, they're not going to deal with you. I'm sorry. And I say this in love, like me. If I'm talking about this stuff on this show and I go around, I post perverted stuff on my page, you think people going to want to deal with Furman? No. I'm just saying you have to be mindful out there because social media can destroy a lot of it. See, man, what you want to say?
Man, this is a tough one here. This is a tough one. I'm with Nancy. I'm with Nancy 100% on. That's mine. That the healing part have to take. I think she need to step away, like you said, and she need to work on herself first before you try to do any more brand building on this business. You don't want to do no more damage. Would you mess up anything? Not saying you have, but you don't want to. You want to. I will try to work on myself right there. And like she say, no matter woman, man, whatever, everybody done been through a whole lot of trauma.
Right.
Relationships are traumas. Everything, all kind of, you know, not having losing everything. I tell people this in 2020. I lost everything I had. My niece was shot in the head in 2020. Left my mom 5 girls. The oldest was 9 years old. COVID was going on, failed relationship, all this stuff happened in 2020. I moved, I went homeless. Everything, most people would have quit. They would have quit. But that's a lot. That's a lot to happen in the same year. Um, it's just a lot, man. But we all been through a lot of trauma. But what I did, I worked on myself. Did everything I could do, work on myself, and I poured myself into building that brand. And that's why I just work so much in the streets out there, working on every corner, selling coffee, doing this here, selling lemonade with a generator. I just worked myself until I healed about working and working on myself. And that's what I think she need to take a step forward in that right there. And that's the first step. No judgment. I'm telling you right now, believe me, this is no judgment. And Nancy and Freeman, they think the same thing. They're not judging you. They're speaking in love on what they telling you about everything, you know.
Right, that's true. She said, "Yeah, I did say you." I didn't say that you guys were judging me. I'm just saying in general that too many people come in my life and they cannot and will not help me, but they judge me. Mrs. Smith, you keep saying they're not helping you, but you have to help yourself at the same time. Also, don't just depend on people. Let me tell you about the background when I got started. When I got started in podcast, it's like in like mid '09, whatever. Anyway, get to the point. I didn't go look for people. I just started doing it. So happened, Nancy at that time and her husband at that time, they discovered me on what I was doing on Blog Talk Radio. And they gave me the opportunity to be on their platform. I didn't go ask, hey, can I be on your platform? They see that I was putting in the work, a young guy from Mobile, Alabama, that was just doing talk shows before podcast was podcasting, but they gave me the opportunity to be on their platform. And I've been rocking where ever since 2010.
Yes.
Because of the work that I was doing. And I learned too, Ms. Smith, don't just depend on people. You keep saying they will not help you, but you have to help yourself also at the same time. Like I said, if you really care about your product, what is your, like you mentioned a book. Okay, what is your book about? You need to start focusing on that. Post about your book. You say you have shoes. Okay, what kind of shoe? What kind of shoes do you have? But you can't be saying stuff like this on social media. Because I'm telling you, and I say this in love again, people watch everything you post. And even though people may not comment on your stuff, they still see your stuff.
Oh yeah, they see. You can even go back and look at some of your posts, and you can see the views on them. You might have 5 likes, but you might have 185 views. People seeing stuff on it, on your post. They went to your post and looked at it, and you don't never know who watching you. Like you just said, you know, Nancy and her husband was watching you and saw you. Didn't know that they was watching you. You know that they saw you. They saw you. People see you all the time. You know that's he didn't know that. Y'all probably watched him for a while, Nancy, and everything before y'all even approached him. You know, making sure, hey, is this a guy want to do anything with? You know, do y'all want to do anything with it? And I'm sure you was doing exactly what he just said. Looking at his Facebook page, is he gonna go on the deep end somewhere? You know, on something. You know, maybe like posting stuff that don't even matter with everything right there. So people watch everything that you do. You have to be very, very careful and how you how you portray yourself. And another thing I tell people too, I want to really say this before I forget. You have to make sure however you portray yourself on social media, when these people come out to visit your station or come on your show, you have to be that same person. You can't be out there acting like you somebody and they come out to see you and you just your butt just rude. You just rude. And you ain't acting nothing like you act on your Facebook post or you act on your show. You have to act the same way when they come see you right there. You know what I'm saying? And then like even the time that, you know, we've been on this about 47 minutes and we talked a couple minutes before we came on. But you exactly who I thought you would be. You acting just like from what I saw. You exactly that person now, you know. And that means a lot right there. Some people don't do that right there. They become a whole different person, you know, in person.
Oh, you're right about that, man. And I applaud you for that and the word that you like what you're saying. Because she was saying something else. She said, but you know, I'm not going to keep working myself as a slave. So I'm not going to keep doing, but you know, for those who are able to make it, great. But I'm not, because I don't have people in my life willing to teach me anything. See, man, what you say about that? It's like she going back to people saying that I don't have people in my life to teach me anything. What do you want to learn?
That's the thing. What do you want? That's the biggest part. What do you want to learn, and who you want to learn it from? You have to change your circle when you're trying to learn from people. You can't. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's the definition of insanity right there. And you have to. If something don't work, I get away from it. And I don't keep myself tied up with the same people. I got a very small circle. I deal with a bunch of people, but I have a very, very small circle that I deal with. I deal with a lot of people, but I got a small circle I deal with. And it's how I'm saying it in two ways. And she got to find that circle of people that she can deal with, that can help her and that she feel comfortable with, working with right there, because everybody out there, like they always say, all money ain't good money. That's a fact right there. All people ain't good people either. All people ain't good, ain't bad people either. So you had to just find out what can you get to be able to come in you, because everybody not gonna help you. But for anybody to help you, you said it early, you got to help yourself. If you ever seen an airplane pilot explain when the plane going down, the first thing, they don't care if you got a 2-month-old baby. First thing they say, put the mask on yourself first. You got to put the mask on and save yourself first for anybody else gonna save you.
Right.
Or you can't save nobody else either if you like that. So she got to put the mask on herself and start saving herself, and then you worry about people coming in helping you with everything right there. Help yourself with it right there,
And then that's it, because she was saying, I'm not going to keep working myself as a slave. When you say, I'm not going to keep working myself as a slave. Let me tell you something. Entrepreneurs work 10 times harder than a person who works a regular 9 to 5, because they have to generate their own income. So you're going to work 10 times harder.
You don't work, you don't eat. You don't work, you don't eat. If I don't get out, I don't have another. I'm the perfect example. I don't do nothing else. I don't work nothing else, no other jobs. So if I don't get out there and work and fill my calendar up and work, I don't eat. Now you got people who go to their 9 to 5 at their job, no matter if they work hard that day or not, they gonna get that 2-week check. If I don't work, I don't eat. It's no other source of income but what I push through my business right there. 100% entrepreneur, right? Which everybody, but you financial freedom, you control your time, you ain't got to work for nobody. But I don't cheat myself. I'm out there still working harder than a regular person, even though I don't have to work that hard. I mean, it's days I go in, I ain't got no business out there. I ain't gonna lie for you, I ain't got no business being out there doing nothing. Cause I done did an event where I done made $2,000. I done did another event the next day, I done made $3,000. I done did another event, I done made $1,500. Why do I want to go out here and make $300 at an event? Why?
Right.
Because the consistency of it right there. And I know if I don't work, I don't eat, because it come a day you can't make a dime. So you got to make much as money as you can. Now, don't get me wrong. I do scale my time back to enjoy my time and everything right there, because I don't have to work 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. I might make 3 hours and work that money, 2 hours and make that money. So I enjoy my time too,
That's it, because you look at it and you just took the words out of my mouth on that. Like when you mentioned the money that you make, the profit that you make, and 9 times out of, a lot of times you gotta put that money back into your business to make more money. And that's another thing too. People that think entrepreneurship thinking, okay, I'm just gonna make this money and I'm gonna go and splurge. No, in the first part of the business, you're not you were bear with seeing a profit, but at the same time, you out here man.
Yeah, you bad at seeing barely. But it takes, I tell people this here, and Rick Ross said it. He said it takes 10 years to build a brand. He said, you're going to make some money, you're going to lose some money here and there, but it takes 10 years to build a brand. And I thought about what he told me. I started in 2016. It's 2025. He wasn't lying. It took almost 10 years total to get to what you starting to see, where you can make a couple $100,000 a year and you can make some profit. And then you just have to stay with it right there. And then, like, I haven't bought nothing. I bought the truck. I bought another vehicle to get around in with it, but I ain't bought nothing for myself yet. And I haven't bought anything for myself now. I'm gonna invest in me a Jeep. I want a Jeep. I'm gonna invest in me a Jeep, and I'm gonna buy some other stuff. But I haven't. Everything I bought, it been to make money. I bought assets and no liabilities. Everything I'm buying gonna make me more money. If you take 100 guys and you take them from homeless and they make $200,000 to $250,000 a year right now, the first thing they go and buy is a car. First thing, if you got 100 guys, 99, I'm going to do that. I didn't go buy me a car or anything. I stayed there. And then I'm not embarrassed by anything. I stayed in my same hotel room, drove the same regular car for 4 years. I paid $1,500 for it. It was ticket. Everybody knew that regular Coffeeman car coming. But they know when he get out, he finna hustle. He gonna have the longest line out there. You know what I'm saying with that? So I tell people, put put your stuff in perspective, what you need and everything right there. Just don't just throw your money away on everything right there. You know, you got to make a lot of sacrifices to get there. Everybody want the dream, but don't nobody want to sacrifice. They want they
They
want the
won't
American
put,
dream.
they don't want to put in the work.
That's it. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
they want
Everybody want to get
right. They want the
good.
success. They want the success, like y'all both said. They want the success, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices.
Nobody else. No, people don't want to do it, and you can tell when a person. When I get up every morning, y'all, I got somebody inbox saying, "Hey, Coffee, or how you do this here, or do you know this here?" They're calling, ask me about it, and I'm good. I don't mind about answering that thing. But the first thing I tell them, I say, "Man, you got to be ready to go get it." I say these 2,000 drinks, 1,500 drinks a week didn't just come me sitting around. Y'all, I've been in them streets, and I said, y'all can go pop back on Facebook and look back 4 years. You're gonna see me on every corner. Wait till I post my schedule. I just put a schedule together. I looked at it because I seen my whole month almost filled up. In my next month, I think I got like I had 26 events coming up in May. And it was 26 events. It ain't number 31 days. I had 26 events in May, some double book days, and it was the middle of March. And I said May. I had 26 event booked, and I've started taking events in. And I was looking at my calendar, and it's about a 10-day run of every day and 2 double booked events, big events where you got to go do this stuff and everything. And so I'm gonna post this calendar, not my calendar. I'm posting my schedule for the next like week and a half. It's insane. And I looked at it, I'm like, man, this is insane. But it was a lot of hard work put in to be able to get that schedule to look like that. Nobody gave me that schedule looking like that. You know, it's a lot of trust that people come in when they say, hey, I'm gonna send this dude $1,500 to come do an event for me. Nobody hesitate to do that because they know I'm gonna show up. When you're building your brand like that, you know, when you send your money to Amazon, you know Amazon gonna drop your package. If they don't, they're gonna get your money back.
Yeah.
So people had to have belief in you right there too. And the consistency part I go back on. I think Nancy went on yet. The consistency part I was telling her that is I was telling Ms. Smith that you have to know who you being consistent to. You can be being consistent, but you being consistent to the wrong audience. And you can't get going if you're being consistent to the wrong audience right there. You know, I know my clientele, 95% women and kids. So like I say, I don't focus on trying to sell anything to a man. If he come. I'm not gonna worry about that 5%. I need yeah.
Well, the biggest. Oh my bad. Go ahead, finish. Yeah, but because we know that the big consumers are women. Women buy quicker than men buy.
They are.
So that's why they always
I tell people I ain't want to forget. My bad. I'm old. That 51-year-old mind. Oh, I don't want to forget this here. I tell people this is a very important thing. Who people watching. Women tell. I look at women all the time. If you ever look at a man page, they're gonna have more women than men. It's gonna be more women than you look at a woman page. It's gonna be more men than women. If I tell that woman, I say, you better flip your damn page and you better put some women, because these guys ain't going to buy as much as you think they buying. Oh, no, I got this here. No, you don't. If you walk into a pop-up and you see more men into a pop-up, buying, you might well pack your bag and you ain't finna make no money because they ain't going to buy it unless they women and brung them in. And the women is the people who buying everything from you right there. But let me tell you, and women who think they look good, they the main one that said, oh, no, you don't have a bigger man client. No, you don't. You put your business together. You're not selling more to man. I promise you're not, because they're not the biggest buyers right there. They're not. But they seem to think that, and I tell them, flip your page. You need to flip your page. You put the women, you'll get more people in buying right there for you right there. That's who gonna buy. That's who gonna buy right there from you right there. And it's a very important thing because most people don't believe it. But I stopped trying to tell people who don't believe stuff. I just keep doing what I'm doing. Just keep watching me. It's a flip page right there. And I tell people this, sometimes women have it harder to me in like the pop-up world and trying to start their business, especially if they look decent looking woman, because another person gonna walk up and look at them like this here. I tell people this here, building the Coffeeman brand, a woman would have struggled building it, not because she couldn't make the coffee and not because she couldn't do it. It's just a man had a better chance of doing it because he had a women clientele that he was targeting right there. And if he had the right address how he was dealing with people, people were more to approach that right there. People fighting over the black woman because of their big consumers. You know what I'm saying? They fighting over the black woman to come support them. Like I say, the hair, the nails, the handbag, the Mercedes, the BMW dealership. They fighting over the black woman because the black woman is the biggest supporter. They came automatic to me. So I was so blessed to have them. And I've made a post several times on Facebook thanking the black woman because the black woman is the reason that Coffeeman business is built. It is the facts to it. It is the facts to it. They the one that did the majority build to the business right there. And they the one that built all these hair stores, all these nail shops, they the major contributor to everything right there. They are the major components right there to that right there. So like, again, I always say, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. You know, without them, it's no me. It's no me. And it's, again, it go back to one thing, knowing your audience.
That's it.
You got to know your audience.
And you mentioned that's right, see, man. You have to know your audience and who your target market is, because if you don't know your target market, you're gonna be all over the place. And if you got a concept, oh, I gotta make money, you're already lost, because the money gonna come. Trust me, the money is gonna come.
Yes.
All you gotta do is keep. All right, let's just be realistic here. The Michael Jordans of the world, the LeBron James of the world, the Tom Brady's of the world, they didn't go looking for the consumer. The consumer came to them. Why did the consumer come to them? Because why? They was putting in the work.
That's true.
And that's what people miss, see, man. People so focused on the money, don't focus on the money. Focus on perfecting your. That's good. That's a good word. Focus on perfecting your craft.
That's it. That's it.
And the more you perfect your craft, the money will come.
It's coming. It's coming.
The money will come. Your money will come. You have to perfect your craft. You gotta know your market and perfect your craft.
I love it.
Nike came up to Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan was a markable player.
He was.
And Nike came to him.
You're right about that.
If you're putting the work, these people will come to you. All you gotta do is, what you said, perfect your craft. They go for me, you, anybody. You have to perfect your craft. The money will come, like Nancy said earlier. If you seeking first the kingdom of God and what his righteousness, all these things gonna be added unto you. And a lot of times is you have to find out what are you good at. Because we can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose avails, right? That's why Scripture tells us lean not to our own understanding, but knowledge him should make your pathway straight. See, a lot of times, C-Man and Nancy, people want to make their own plan, but they're not seeking God's. But I can't be C-Man. I'm sorry. I can't be the Coffee Man. I'm not going to do. See what it is, and I'm not saying it's targeting her, but people only want to think, okay, they think it's easy because you do it, C-Man. They think it's easy because you do it.
And then you want to make it look easy. You want to make it. Most people who really good at their craft, they make it look real easy. They make it look real. Like I always use Usain Bolt. You can't run no 9. You can't run no 9.5. Whatever he ran 9. Whatever it was 6. Whatever what it was. No matter how you can't nobody teach you to run that fast. You can't be. He's 1 and 1. You know, and that's the thing about it. You know, everybody. I can't get on and do what you do. You know, I don't even know what Nancy do, but I guarantee you, I know I can't do what she do because I can't do it. You know, it's just you have to take what you got. Like you say, you have to keep perfecting your craft, and the money is always gonna come. Take it. People keep looking at the prize. They just keep this eyeballing this and the prize right there. The prize. And sometimes just go to work and do what you're supposed to do. The money gonna come, man. The money's gonna come.
Yeah, the money gonna come. Just keep working at your craft. Find out what you love doing. It's gonna come. Trust me, it's gonna come. I had people offer me money and like this show. First thing people ask me, how much you charge to come on? I don't charge anything. The thing, my more focus is putting the brand out there. The money gonna come, right? Put the brand people out of ordinary, they just give me stuff. They say, man, I see the work that you're doing. I just want to give you something for. I don't ask nobody for a dime. I'm not even making a dime right now. I work for the share department. Matter of fact, I go back to work tomorrow night, and I'm putting in 16 hours. I have to work.
Dallas?
Man, don't work.
You in Dallas?
Yeah.
You in Dallas?
I'm in Dallas.
I did.
Yeah,
I did y'all. I'm coming back in September.
Okay.
I do an event there. I did one. The wellness event y'all had recently,
Okay.
and I come back in September and do another one.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I said, hey, I still work. I don't get paid a dime doing Walking His Way Impact Voice podcast. I do it because I love it, and I'm telling you, the byproduct, the money, everything else is gonna come. That's why I'm trying to tell all listening. Just perfect your craft, like you mentioned. See, man, know your market.
Know your market, man.
Stay within your market, and just know your market.
And
the Bible says, without a vision, the people perish.
Stay consistent. Stay consistent with everything you do. Consistent is the answer. It's important. Anything being successful, that word consistency got to be a part of it. It's nothing that you can be successful in that you're not consistent at. It's nothing. Consistency is a part of anything of building success. Because you got to be able to do it over and over and over and over again. Like I asked this question. I ask people, what do McDonald's sell?
Burgers.
Consistency. That's what McDonald's sell. I'm not saying your order being messed up, but if you go to China, you can go to South Korea, that burger gonna taste the same. That it's consistency. They sell, people say fries, burgers, shakes, they sell consistency. That's why they worth $218 billion right there, 200 plus. The second most, I tell people I got into coffee because it's the second most traded commodity behind automobiles. And I figure if you can do that, you can make a bunch of money with it right there. So Starbucks is the second richest food place in the world with 127. And, you take like Chick-fil-A, every one Chick-fil-A you see is 10 Starbucks around it and 10 McDonald's around it. Every one you see. That's how they dominate. That's how they dominate right there. That's why they so busy with everything they do. That's why they number one and number two. You take a Chick-fil-A, as busy as you see them, they buy maybe like 40-some billion. These places 127 and 212. That's insane, man. And people always say, I don't eat McDonald's. Somebody eating it. That's all I gotta say. Somebody eating it. So when I hear people say I don't drink coffee, I don't either. I don't drink coffee. I sell a product. I don't even drink coffee. But the people say, well, how can you sell coffee, man, and you don't drink coffee? I say, stop. I said, I was executive chef for 25 years. I said, I don't eat kangaroo, but I can cook kangaroo. That answers the question right there. Because they gonna tell you everything they need to tell you. When people walk over my station, I built a subway around it. I'm gonna walk up, you gonna say, I say you want hot or cold? You say I want cold. You want a strong sweet in the middle. I want in the middle. You want caramel, mocha, vanilla, you want hazelnut, what kind of flavor? White chocolate. I want white chocolate. You want whipped cream on it? Yeah, I want whipped cream. You want regular milk, almond milk, oat milk. You just told me how to do it. That's your I just made what you just told me. I don't have to drink anything. I have to drink anything. That's simple.
Right. And you're right about that because you're actually making what they like.
And then you're making a conversation piece is everything going on, and people follow because when you can do 304, 305 drinks in 3 hours, that's 1.67 minute, 1.6 minute that you're making a drink. That's insane right there. That's insane. And you don't write down anything. I ain't got no stickers on my cups or nothing. I ain't got no sticker that say oat milk, latte, caramel, extra shot of cold foam. No, I got to remember all that stuff before I do it all. So they come to watch the show. That's part of the show. And I'm started dumping, two-hand dumping, got everything going. Everything working. I got 8 drinks on the table. I'm working at the same time. Boom, 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 dropping them out of there, rolling them out of there. Stopping, going to take pictures, videos, filming, everything going on. While I got a line of 70 people lined up. All this going on at the same time. So it's a blessing, man. I just thank God, I thank God, it's good. It's good. God's good. I can tell you that. That's all I got to say about it. God is good.
Hey, all the time. I know we at the 8 o'clock mark, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock mark.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We had a good time, and I thank you, man. We did. We made it. Now, big shout out to Miss Smith in the comment section. Much love and respect to you, Miss Smith.
Definitely respect for her,
Yeah. Because eventually your breakthrough is going to come, Miss Smith. Just keep holding on. Your breakthrough is going to come. Just trust God. A lot of times it's the trying of your faith. You know, our faith has to be tested. Our faith has to be tried. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times God's going to see if you for him or you for other things. And I'm saying this in love. God had to see where you at. We all been tested before, but God has perfected us, right? So let God perfect you, Miss Smith, in this time, and let God deal with you and let him minister to your heart right now. And I say this in love and work within yourself. God got also plan for you, Miss Smith. You just got to trust him. And my prayer for you, Miss Smith, all the time, Miss Smith, just ask God to remove the people from around you that don't need to be around you, and he would do that. Just ask God, put the people in place where you have fit for me, the people, the right people you have for you. Ask him to put them in your path. He would do that. You have not, you ask not.
Amen.
The scripture says, if any man lack of wisdom, let him ask. So you have to ask God. Yeah, he said, I know all things you need, but a lot of times we have to open our mouth and say, tell him what you want.
Yeah.
Just tell him what you want. Ask him to remove the people out of your way that they don't need to be there. Ask him to order your steps. Scripture said, lean not to our own understanding, but acknowledge him. We make your pathway straight. Because you came on here for a reason. And we're here for you. But at the same time, you're going to have to let God be God. You get out the way. Let him step in. My prayer all the time, and I say this today. No, yesterday. I was at the mall yesterday. And I was going up the elevator anyway.
Escalator.
Yes, yeah. I said, you know what, Father, you increase and let me decrease. Because I want him to be in the way and not me. Because we are our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So, like John the Baptist said when Jesus walked on the scene, let him increase so I could decrease.
That's true. That's
But
true.
that's all to it. So let him increase and you decrease, Miss Smith. And I say this in love, not to attack you, because I don't know what all you went through from what the story you shared, but let God be God. God, you gotta let God do his thing. Let God work this thing out. Let him work this thing out. Stop fighting it. You keep fighting it and you're fighting a losing battle. Vengeance of mine, said the Lord. Let him fight your battles. And the people that wronged you and judged you and did things to you, forgive them people and put them in God's hand.
Yeah.
That's true.
So let God work this thing out. Stop fighting your own battles and get out your own way. Just get out your own way. And God will work that thing out for you. Get out your way. But anyway, Coffeeman, for the great lead, do you have any words of advice, any signs of wisdom you want to leave here with the listening audience? After that, gonna pass on to Nancy. But go ahead, Coffeeman. Any words of advice, any signs of wisdom? How can people get in contact with you? And also post your social media sites as well.
Yeah, y'all can contact y'all in anywhere C-Man Coffee on all the social media sites right there, but I also have cmancoffee.com, the website. And then I want to say this real short. Y'all I keep going back to the same word. Y'all just stay consistent in what you do. It's the answer. It's the answer. Keep God first and stay consistent. That's it.
And
I'm
that's
good
it.
now.
Hey, also your social media sites, you can plug those as well. Like any events.
Oh, I started them first. I started them out first right there. C-Man Coffee. All of them are C-Man Coffee.
Okay,
The Facebook,
awesome.
Instagram, and TikTok is all C-Man Coffee. And then the website is cmancoffee.com. And you can order everything on there. I have my own brand of coffee that you can order on there, $14.95 a bag, dark roast, medium roast. And also I have a decaf. I also have my own C-Man cologne too that I have. It's not a coffee smell, y'all. I have that too that I added to the thing. Gift cards, everything can be purchased off that website. Again, it's cmancoffee.com.
And awesome. Yeah, go ahead and follow C-Man tonight on all his social media platforms. Get all the updates, what's going on around the DFW and around the surrounding area. So go ahead and follow C-Man tonight on all his social media platforms. Get all the latest updates that's going on. That's what it's all about, right? So it's all love and all respect here. So Nancy, go ahead. You know how we do it. Plug in your social media sites and stuff like that and lead us out. And we'll be back here Saturday morning, 5 Saturday edition.
Amen. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all Kingdom Chick Nancy C. Romans 10:9 says, if you confess with your mouth and believe with your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord, you shall be saved. So right now, just say, Dear Lord Jesus, I admit that I'm a sinner. Please forgive me of all of my sins. I believe that you died on the cross and rose on the third day. Today I make you my Lord and my Savior. Fill me with your Holy Spirit and lead me for the rest of my days. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen again. So hey, that's what it said. And she said, but that's about it. Like I said, we about to lead this thing. We out this thing. Like I said,
And
Miss Smith.
y'all be safe and y'all be good. Y'all be good. If y'all want again part 2, I'll be happy to come back.
Oh, most definitely. We'd love to have you back on, Mr. C, man. Thank you, sir, for taking time
Thank
on
y'all very much.
your schedule. And we about to get ready to depart. Of course, man, it is that time, and y'all make sure y'all have a great night. Enjoy your night, enjoy your evening, enjoy your day. And me and Nancy will be back here Saturday morning for the 7th edition of the Walking This Way Impact Woods podcast. Peace, everybody.
Amen.